It's time that you make up your mind and decide that you will not stay the same. It's time you decide that you leave the former things of the past behind. You set your eyes on a new horizon, a new future, something that's gonna be new for your family, new to your generation, new for you, something to where it's gonna change completely. You're no longer gonna be in poverty. You're no longer gonna be in depression, anxiety. You're no longer gonna be in that stressful, toxic environment. You're no longer going to be a person that's attached to vices and attached to addictions and has no self control over themselves. It's time do you change your mind. It all starts with your mind. Contrary to popular belief, where everyone's like, oh, it first starts with your actions. No, the very first thing, even before your words, even before your actions, is your mindset. Your mind is literally so important. What you train your mind on, what your beliefs are within your mind, everything that you do with your mind, even just the thoughts that you allow to roam around in there are so important, and they're catastrophic to every single thing you do in life. Everything that you do, everything that you speak is a result of what's going on within your mind. You ever felt like sometimes you're like, before you like, you have a point to where you've been angry or upset all day, and it just seems like everything's pushing more on edge, and then like you have that one last trigger, and then you just let it all out on someone, but it's like everything that's been going around in your mind all day, and it just all comes out in that one string of words, into that one short burst, because everything that's been in your mind, it eventually has to come out through words and later on through actions. That is how important your mind is. That is how powerful your mind is. There are entire people that study the brain and they still don't understand every single thing that's happening within it. Like the brain, the mind is so powerful, and you need to change your mindset, change how you're reworking things. If you have limiting beliefs, if you have beliefs that, oh, you can't do it, oh, beliefs that, oh, no one else has done it before, so then that means I can't, then that's what's gonna happen, because you're limited purely on your mind. Like if you think that you can't do it, you will not be able to do it. If you think you can do it, you will be able to do it. That's why the most successful people all in the world, they all have one common thing. They're unrealistically optimistic. That doesn't mean they're not realist, but they're unrealistically optimistic. That means, despite what it might look like in the real, natural state of things, what it looks like might be possible. They say, despite the odds, I can be the first. Despite the odds, it can go in my favor. This is what can happen. And you know how I noticed there are people like Elon Musk. You know how many rocket ships he's launched? You know how many different companies he's had? You know how many failures he's had? He's literally went to the point to where he almost went bankrupt, and now he's the richest person in the world. There's Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, like all these different famous people, even athletes. Like, look at Steph Curry, look at LeBron James, look at Lewis Hamilton, look at all these famous people. And you can see that they had to have a mindset shift. They had to have a change. They had to decide that I'm no longer going to stay the same. I'm no longer going to be the same person. I'm no longer going to deal with the same problems that I've been sick and tired of dealing with for years, for months, for weeks, for longer, for generations that have happened. I am going to decide today that this is the last day I'm suffering from this. This is the last day that I'm being held bound from my potential by my own mind. So this is what you need to do first. I need to evaluate every single thing that happens within your mind. Evaluate every single thought, every single idea. You literally need to evaluate it all. It is so important. In the Bible, it says to capture every thought and hold it captive. Like you need to, that is so important. You need to go and capture every single thought, every single thing that you have running around. Think about things like, even if it's positive, even if it's negative, whatever it may be conscious, be aware of the thoughts that you allow to roam around within your mind. Two, I need you to start removing things from your mind that do not belong there. Like you cannot okay, for example, if you want to be successful, you cannot live a life where you keep thinking, "Oh, you are poor." No, you are not poor. You're at a point to where, you have to say, "Okay, I'm in a growth point. I'm at a point where I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm going to be there. I might not have a lot of money now, but it is coming. It is coming. It is going to happen." You have to have that mindset shift. You have to take those things and put in like positive things. You have to take it out. take every single thing out. You have to, this is the process where I like to call it unrooting. You have to unroot all these different things before you go and start planting things. You have to unroot. You have to realize that, okay, there are weeds that you've allowed to grow in there. There are things that you allowed to grow within your minds, or even not even yourself, but it might be from your own parents. It might be from your own family members, from friends, from teachers, from people that are important in your life that, might have planted seeds of doubt, of, all these different things, like even things that you watch, like people that have addictions to lust, like, they might have put seeds of lust within your mind. You have to take all those things out, remove. It's time to be just like a farmer, and you really have to go and pluck and uproot every single negative thing. You have to take those out, every single limiting belief. Take it out of your mind now. Cast it out now. It is good to get out now, because the longer you allow it to be in there, the longer it's gonna have more time to give deeper roots and spread and create more seeds of doubt and negativity within your mind. It is so important. The longer you wait, the more it grows and the harder it will be to remove. So work on removing those. Next, you need to start planting new seeds. You need to start planting seeds of positivity rather than saying, oh, I can't do this, or I'm in poverty. No. Say, I can do it. I am wealthy. I will find success. It doesn't matter. I will be the first person in my family to have wealth. I will be the first person in my generation, in my family, to not be in poverty. Change it. Plant seeds. Say, I will, even though I have not seen a successful marriage in my whole entire family, I will be the first one. That's something that I say for myself, because, like, I don't have an example of that anywhere within, my close family. Like, I don't, and that's just something I have to say to myself. I will be the first person to have a successful marriage, to stay with my wife for my whole entire life, one wife. Say that. You have to plant these positive things. It's important to have these declarations and plant it. Plant those seeds in your mind. Continually renew your mind. Continually renew your mind. The Bible says to continually renew your mind. This is such a powerful thing. You need to learn to continually renew your mind. You're in a process of continually planting new seeds, removing these negative seeds, and it's a constant process. You're removing and planting new things, and then next you have to grow and grow it. So that means you have to spend time fertilizing, spend time watering it, let it get sunlight. And that doesn't mean, I don't mean it just literally. That's not what I'm talking about. But I mean, truly, you have to take time to start doing action, start speaking it. That's what it's about. You start speaking those things. That's when you're watering it. And, when you start taking your actions, that's when you're letting sunlight and you're putting fertilizer and you're allowing it to grow and germinate and grow into these powerful trees. So then you have these powerful, deep-rooted trees within your mind, to where if anyone comes to go and tell you the opposite, if anyone comes to try and shake your mentality, to shift your mindset when adversity comes, which it will, when people come against you, they will, when even your own family doubts you, and they will, it's inevitable. You're ready. You can't be shaken. You can't be moved, because you already have this firmly planted. You already have this firmly set within your mind. You have it firmly rooted. And you're like, you know what? No one can tell me this. No one can tell me anything. No, don't be limited. Don't be limited by these beliefs. You need to spend time rooting yourself down, rooting these inside of your brain. Get them inside your head and make them a part of who you are. Because when they become a part of who you are, then no one else can tell you anything. Because it's like, if there's a professional basketball player, let's say I'm gonna use Steph Curry, because he's probably one of the most famous. You tell Steph Curry, oh, you can't shoot threes. He's gonna be like, okay, I don't believe you, because he has the track record to prove he's the greatest shooter of all time. That's who he is, and that's a part of his identity. He's an amazing basketball player. So anyone who tries to come and tell him anything, it means nothing. It literally goes whoop, just right over their head, in one ear, out the other, because he literally has his identity firmly rooted, and that is not something that can be shaken. So plant your identity. Get it in your mind that you are wealthy, even if you're not where you are yet, where you want to be yet. I am not where I want to be yet. But I have in my mind, I am wealthy. So that means my habits have to lead to wealth. I can't be on my phone all day. I have to be able to be in a constant state where I'm thinking of new ideas, thinking of business ideas, being able to create products, learning, teaching myself, bettering myself, be in a constant state of becoming the person I want to be. Create these identities within your mind, and you become attached to them, and you continue to grow them and germinate them and watch them take root and really change everything within your life. I promise you, if you change your mindset, everything within your life will change. It'll change how you treat others, because when you come from a place of, oh, you already have victory, when you come from a place that, oh, I've already won, that I'm a victor, not a victim. When you come from a place to where, you know what, I am wealthy. When you come from a place of, you know what, I am a positive influence. I am a great leader. These things, you start treating people different. You start treating people just how that identity would. If you want to say, if you start believing that you are a powerful, impactful leader, then when you walk into a room, you're gonna start leading people. People are gonna be like, oh, okay, what do I do with this? And you're gonna start seeing those character traits blossom within your own life. But first, you have to make it a part of your identity. That is why your mindset is so important. I did a poll recently on my community tab. I have polls every single day, so you can take part in those. If you want to go to my community tab on my YouTube channel, and you can see. And one of the questions I asked was, how do you feel about your financial status right now? And a lot of people said they feel hopeless, that they have they're right now they feel hopeless, that that they're poor. And you have to change that. If you want to be a person that is not poor, that is not in poverty, you have to decide now that, I decide now that I will not be in poverty. I decide now that I will be financially free, that I will not have the same burdens that my parents did, that my grandparents did, and generations beyond that. Decide it now. You have to change everything now. Everything that you want to change within your life, you have to decide it for yourself. And it all starts with the mind. Time to focus on becoming exactly who you want to become. Now, if you want to continue watching a video on how to become exactly who you want to become, so you can do what you want to do in life, to have a successful and abundant life, you can watch this video right here, where I break down every single thing you need to do to change your mindset and become who you need to be, so you can do exactly what you want to do in life. It all starts with becoming. Watch this video right here.